We're making 3-ingredient high protein pancakes. So I have a half cup of cottage cheese in my blender. I'm also adding in a half cup of oats and also apparently making a huge mess. And then lastly, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of egg whites. Normally I like to use whole eggs, but this recipe calls for egg whites, so we're trying it out. So 1 cup of egg whites. These are super high protein, they're healthy. I'm also gonna add 1 extra ingredient. I'm gonna add some pumpkin spice just for a little bit of extra flavor. You don't have to add this, but you could also do something like cinnamon. Oh my gosh, I'm making such a big mess today. So that's my little added flavor boost. So I'm just gonna put the top onto my blender and we're gonna blend this until smooth. So I'll grab my blender here and I'm just gonna place the blender into the little blending machine and we'll blend until smooth. Okay, so that blends up super quick and you can see the batter is a little bit thinner than a typical pancake batter. So I'm interested to see if this will work, but let's test it out. So I have my pan preheated a little bit and then I added a little bit of butter. I have it on like a medium heat. So now I'm just gonna pour my batter right onto the pan. We're gonna do a large pancake. Hopefully that's not too big. So we'll let this cook a bit and then flip it. Okay, you can see that it has started to set around the edges and we have little bubbles forming in the center. That's when you know it's ready to flip. All right, wish me luck because this is such a big pancake. Woo, we did it. Okay, so we're gonna let the other side cook a minute or two and then we'll try it out. So this recipe makes 2 really large pancakes. They're almost kind of like a crepe, as you can see. But I will say I'm pretty impressed with how big the pancakes this recipe makes are and with how much protein's in these. So I am very hopeful that these turn out good. All right, it has been about a minute. This smells so good with the pumpkin spice. So I'm just gonna carefully transfer that onto my plate. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more butter onto my pan here. So I'm just gonna spread some butter on the pan. And then we're gonna cook that second protein pancake. So our second protein pancake is ready to flip. You can tell again because you can see those bubbles. So we're gonna carefully flip it over. Perfect. And guys, I'm wondering if I should make like a wrap version of this because I feel like this is almost like a high protein tortilla. It's kind of like a crepe tortilla pancake. I don't know. We'll have to see how the flavor is. But I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll make another recipe making this into a high protein wrap. So it's been about a minute or two and we're gonna remove the pancake from the pan and add it to our plate. And let's go add some toppings and try these out. So for toppings, I'm just gonna add a little bit of butter on top and kind of spread that around. Make sure it's spread. The pancake's still super hot, so the butter is melting perfectly onto it. And then I'm gonna also add some organic maple syrup. If you wanted to keep this recipe low sugar, you could do something like almond butter and berries, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of maple syrup and then spread that around as well. Okay, this looks pretty good, so I am going to dig in. If these end up tasting good, it's gonna be such a great high protein, easy breakfast to make. All right, here we go. I'm actually pretty impressed with the texture. It is kind of just like a pancake, maybe just a little bit more flat. So if you wanted to make it a thicker pancake, you could probably do all the batter in the pan at once instead of making 2. But I kind of like this. So here we go, let's try it. It's delicious. It tastes just like a normal pancake. There's no sugar added in it except for the maple syrup on top. I'm actually super impressed with the texture and the taste for how high of protein this is. I am definitely gonna be adding this to my high protein breakfast routine. It's so good when you're just sick of eggs, but you want something super high protein and healthy. Let me know if you'll try these 3 ingredient healthy high protein pancakes.